What's going on, guys? It's Vinnie here, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a battery on a Toro TimeCutter zero-turn lawnmower, as well as many other lawnmowers out there, because the process is pretty much the same. So one of the obvious reasons you're probably going to change your battery is because your lawnmower won't start. One of the symptoms is when you turn the key, you hear a bunch of clicks, but you don't hear the engine turning over at all. So that's one of the main reasons. Usually this will happen after the lawnmower sits over like the winter season and you're going to try to start the mower back up in the spring. So a good place to start is to test the battery. You could do that either with a test light or a multimeter. A multimeter, of course, is going to give you the actual reading of how many volts, whereas the test light is just going to tell you if you have power or not. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to test it, how to replace it, and then the mower should start right up for us, hopefully. Also, I just want to mention, if you're into these kind of videos, I have plenty more videos on my channel about lawnmowers, cars, home repair, all kinds of stuff. So please check that out if you're into this content. All right, and without further ado, let's test the battery first. All right, and just to show you the tools we're gonna need for this, you want a multimeter if you're trying to actually read the voltage of the battery, which is a great idea. And then a 1/4-inch ratchet with a 7/16 socket. Could be short or long. The short seems to fit a little bit better. And optionally, you could use a 7/16 wrench. All right, so the first step is going to be to lift the seat. Under the seat, you're going to see the battery. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I actually already replaced my battery, so this is a new battery you're looking at right now. I am going to show you how I tested the old battery and then how to replace this battery, just so you get like an idea of what the whole process is. Now, one other thing, when we go to check the voltage on here, it's going to show you a good voltage because this is a brand new battery. So I'll explain in a minute what a bad voltage would look like on a battery, and then we can go from there. All right, so the first step is to get your multimeter out, and we're going to set this to DC volts. Now you're going to get your red and your black. The black is going to go on the negative, and the red will go under this boot right on the positive. And here we can see I have 12.7 volts. Now also, I should have mentioned I have this plugged in on a battery tender. So we'll test that one more time without the battery tender. And we're at 12.6, which is like a pretty standard number to see on a brand new battery. Now, what I was gonna say before is if you have an older battery and you're testing this and you see 12 volts exactly or 12.2, around there is when you're gonna notice that the battery may not have enough voltage or cold cranking amps to actually start the engine up. So this kind of, it relates just like a car battery where, you know, you could have one bad cell in the whole battery, which prevents the battery from actually being able to do its job and start the vehicle. So if you do have a lower voltage, then let's just say like under 12.4, like if you have like 12.2 or 12.0 or less than 12, then it's pretty safe to assume that you should probably replace your battery, as that is most likely going to be the reason your mower's not starting. Now, with a battery that still may show a good voltage, but you're getting that clicking noise, then you may be able to assume that the battery's good. And the next thing to look at would be down here, which is your starter solenoid. I do have a video for that, so I'll put links down in the description and right up on the screen, the video that links to the how to replace your starter solenoid. All right, so let's assume that the battery's dead. We need to replace it. The first step would be to remove your negative battery terminal. So there is a nylon or a plastic wing nut on the battery terminal. So we're gonna take that off first. You should be able to get this by hand. So be careful when you take this off, because you're going to notice that there's the washer right behind the wing nut. So get that washer off, and then the bolt should just slide right out. And then attached is just these two negatives. One goes probably to the frame, and then the other looks like it's attached to the harness. So we could just push those off to the side for now. The next step is you're gonna get your 1/4-inch ratchet with the 7/16 socket, and on your positive side, you can begin to loosen and remove the nut. Just so you know, the nut is on this side and the bolt is on the other side. So it's kind of reversed from what the other terminal had on it. Okay, so once they're loose, we'll take the nut off, put it right there. Then the bolt should come right out, and there is a washer on it as well. And then so you can basically just remove these two little wires. There's big red wire which goes down to the starter solenoid right there, and then a smaller red wire that looks like it's attached into the harness. So we'll push those off to the side. Now you're gonna notice there's like this strap, or at least there should be a strap. This is just a bungee cord. So you can reach around one end and push that bungee cord down to the ground. It'll unclick, and then you can unhook it just off the other side. So this is literally just a standard bungee cord, and it's showing me that it's a 15-inch rubber tarp strap with hooks. So if you're looking to get a bungee cord, if you're missing one, this is 15 inches. And just so you can see, it's written right on there as well. All right, so once all that's disconnected, the newer battery that I already got conveniently came with a handle. So instead of having to grab the whole battery by hand and pull it out, I can just lift it out with the handle. All right, so I'm gonna quickly just show you the new battery that I got. I got this at a local big box store near me. It is made by Titan. If you look at the top over here, it's gonna show the cold cranking amps is 300, and it's a, obviously a 12-volt battery. And then the only thing you gotta look out for, that it says U1 3T, and then there's U1R-3T. And what the difference is between those numbers, cold cranking amps are gonna be the same, but it's going to be the position of your posts. So this is why, again, I recommend bringing your old battery with you. Put the battery next to the new one that you're looking at, side by side, and make sure the posts are on the same position, because they make the same battery. And like with this, it's positive on the left side, negative on the right. They make them so the negative would be here and the positive would be there. So when you're in your mower, your wires wouldn't be long enough to reach if the battery was the wrong direction. So just make sure you bring your old battery, double check that before you buy the battery. The other thing is, my original battery was a 230 cold cranking amps. I went with a 300 because this is gonna last a little bit longer. It's gonna be a little bit more durable, especially in the colder seasons when, it's hard to start the mower. So I might get a little bit more time out of this battery since it has a higher cold cranking amps. And then one last thing, I noticed that they came with these stickers and it shows you the shipping date. I don't know how accurate that is, but I got the one that is the most recent, because there is a case where you may go to a big box store and a lot of these batteries are on the shelf and they're dead or they're bad. So just one more trick for that is you can bring a multimeter with you and test the battery before you buy it. And that way you can kind of get an idea, like, okay, is this battery good or bad, before I spend all this time driving back and forth 3 times. So just a few tips of advice. Do those things and you will save yourself the time and the hassle. All right, so now let's get our new battery and install it again. Before we install the battery back down into this slot where it goes, I did actually make a slight improvement, or at least what I believe might be an improvement. The battery used to just sit on this metal plate, and all the paint started to get worn off, and I flipped the old battery upside down to look, and a lot of the plastic was worn really bad, and obviously your lawnmower rattles and vibrates a lot. So I just got these foam strips, and I foam stripped the whole outline where the battery sits, and then a couple through the center. I also did on the sides. There's these 2 pieces of metal that stick up, like brackets that keep the battery in place, and I also put the foam on there. Now I can't confirm that this is actually going to change or help anything, but just logically it makes sense to me that if it's going to vibrate a lot, it would be nice to just have a little bit of cushion, a little bit of dampening in there. All right, so I'm gonna grab my battery. I have the negative terminal towards the far side of the passenger side of the mower, and then my positive down here towards, let's call it the driver side. And we are going to lower that right into place. And it shouldn't slide too much around. It's kind of in a slot there, so that's good. Then we're going to fish down our first part of our bungee cord. There's a hole for the bungee cord, and then it wraps over the top, and then again around the back side there is another slot down there where the bungee cord will click in. And then I just straighten out the bungee cord, make sure it's nice and secure. Feels like it, not going anywhere. All right, once you have your battery secured back in there, it's time to put the terminals back together. So you have the red wire coming from the harness, and then you have a thicker red wire that comes from your starter solenoid. We're gonna get our bolt with the washer. That's gonna go through these two terminals and then down here through the post. And what I like to do is make sure you kind of try to pull these wires till they're like oriented good and they fit nicely. And then I'm gonna get the nut on the other end and we will, all right, then you'll get your nut and screw that on the other side. Then you'll get your 7/16 and we can tighten that up. And then I also just like to hold the wires so they don't move while we tighten this. And it should snug up. If for whatever reason, if that bolt's also spinning on the other end, then just get a 7/16 wrench and hold it there. Now you don't need to crank this too tight. You want it to be tight enough that it doesn't rattle itself loose while the mower's running, but you'll snug it with your wrench or your socket and that should be pretty good. So once that's hooked up, I always like to put the boot right back over it. Just that way, in case if I'm attaching anything else and I drop my wrench, it can't touch the positive terminal and then ground itself out on your mower. All right, so then once that's back on, we can work on our negative terminal over here. So you'll get your bolt, which comes through the front. Then you'll have two terminals over here that are gonna slide on. Then you'll have your washer and then your nylon nut. All right, and then once that's on, I hold the wires nice and straight. Then I'm just gonna tighten this wing nut snugly with my hands and everything looks to be good. Nice. All right, and that's pretty much it. All right, and we're good to drop the seat. Make sure you double check everything and then get your key and let's try to start it up. All right, now, so it's cranking, right? We didn't get any clicks. Let's not panic. So also, like I said, you know, the mower sat all winter long. So sometimes it does have a little bit of a trouble starting. And what we can use a little bit of starter fluid and I'm gonna spray this on the intake. I'll show you how to do that really quick. So on the back of the mower, you pop this up, pull out your air filter. You're gonna get your starter fluid and just a little spritz right in this intake here. That's all you need. Pop the filter back on. Close your cover up. Now let's give it a go one more time and it should start right up. So just like that, you got your mower running again. All right guys, and that's about it. That's how you replace a battery on a Toro TimeCutter zero-turn lawnmower, as well as other relevant lawnmowers that are out there today. So if this video helped you guys out, please leave me a like. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. And if you're looking for more of this kind of content, then hit that subscribe button because there'll be plenty more videos coming your way. Don't forget to check out my other videos on lawnmower repair, car repair, and home repair. Got plenty of information out there for you guys. It's very helpful, so check those out. Other than that, I appreciate you guys sticking through with me on this one. Happy mowing, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good one.